name is Christa Jewett. I'm a marine biologist with Kids Ecology Corps. We're going to be talking to you a little bit about today the importance of picking up trash and the importance of the marine environment. Before I get started and give you just a little bit of an idea about what the trash does to our natural environment, Joan Starr is actually going to speak a little bit and welcome you.
Thank you for coming. This is a very exciting time for us. This is the first time we're doing anything like this on the beach. Our eco artist, Susie Q, wherever you are, Susie Q. Right here. There she is. Okay, she's an expert teacher. This is what she does. This is part of her profession. And but we haven't done this in this kind of a venue before. So if it's a little shaky, let us know your comments. We're very excited and we're looking forward to a fabulous day. You're going to learn a lot from Christa in a short amount of time, and then Susie is going to show you how you can make this kind of art using plastic pieces that you find on the beach. And each plastic piece that you find can save a marine, a fish, a turtle, and a variety of marine life. So where are you?
I'm right here. I snuck to the side. I was stage right. All right, so like I said, I'm a marine biologist. I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about why it's important for us to pick up trash, okay? Trash is actually very impactful to our marine environment in particular. Pretty much anything that lands on land eventually has the potential to get into our waterway. You can think of the ocean as a major catch basin. All right, all water runoff eventually leads to the ocean. So whatever's up here is going to end up out there. And so what we're going to talk about today is how you can actually do your part to save one little fish at a time. And that's what we're going to be talking about, is saving one little fish at a time. Because if everybody does just a little bit, that becomes a lot together, okay? And so I'm actually going to focus on plastic today. We know that there's a lot of different trash in the marine environment, unfortunately, but we're going to focus specifically on plastic. Why plastic? Well, plastic, unlike paper or unlike aluminum, does not actually disintegrate. Instead, it just breaks down into smaller and smaller pieces. There's actually, just to give you some statistics, there's actually millions of miles of ocean that is covered with plastic, millions of miles. And then it extends all the way into the deep ocean. The average depth of the ocean is 2.3 miles. The deepest part of the ocean is over 7 miles. And plastic actually extends all the way down that water column. There's an area in the Pacific Ocean that's actually called the Great Pacific Garbage Patch because of all of the plastic that's out there. And the reason why, you might ask, why don't we just go out there and clean it up? Can't we just go get a strainer? Well, actually the majority of it is 5 millimeters or smaller. And so I brought my little ruler here. All right, this is 5 millimeters right here. So it's really tiny. And guess what that looks like? That looks like food to a lot of marine life. There's 267 different marine species that we've identified that are impacted negatively by trash, specifically plastic trash. 44% of seabirds eat trash, plastic particularly, unfortunately because they mistake it as food. And so just to give you an idea of what the plastic looks like when it's in the ocean, this is what it looks like. That's how small it is. And so it's just floating around in the ocean, basically being readily picked up by animals because they think it's food, all right? And so if you're a fish, right, that looks like a pretty good meal. And so unfortunately, they're not really able to process this or digest this. So in extreme cases, like for example with leatherback sea turtles, all right, their stomach will actually fill up with plastic bags and they slowly starve to death because they're not able to process real food. That's a pretty sad way to die. All right, also sometimes they can even suffocate from a plastic bag floating around in the ocean. All right, and so you might think once you go out to the beach, okay, oh, I'm gonna fill up my bucket with big trash. Well, actually, the small trash is just as important because this is more likely to be eaten by an animal than say a big water bottle or something like that. So it's very easy for us to actually walk past this and ignore this and say, oh, it's no big deal. But actually, this is a really big deal to the marine environment. It's really big deal to the fish that we're trying to protect today. So that's why we're focusing on, we're saving one little fish at a time, all right, by picking up one little piece of trash at a time. And when you go out there and you start looking around, all of a sudden, once your eyes are open, you start to see all of this trash. And you're like, oh, wow, can I make a difference? And so there's a story that I like to tell. So there was this boy who went to the beach, and all of these sea stars, you might know them as starfish, had washed up on shore. And he was like, oh, you know, he saw these sea stars and he started throwing them in. There's hundreds of them everywhere. And this guy walks by and he's like, why are you doing that? You're not gonna make any difference. And he picks up a sea star and he throws it into the ocean. He said it made a difference to that one, all right? So we're asking you to make a difference to that one. Because if everybody does a little tiny bit, all right, it becomes a lot together, all right? And so even though you're here today picking up trash, all right, here, it's also important to be conscientious of your trash elsewhere as well. Because like I said, the ocean is a catch basin. Everything basically on land ends up in the ocean with the potential to be harmful to our marine environment. Okay, and so that's why just make sure when you're not here, or even more importantly, when you are here, if you bring it here, take it away with you. All right, make sure you throw away your trash in a proper receptacle. Make sure that you don't leave things blowing around. And what's interesting, when you go out, a lot of what you'll find, all right, is bottle caps, all right? And so when you leave, you might think, oh, I've got all my water bottles, great, but you forget about the little caps. All right, the little caps are very important as well. Or one thing that I find a lot of times when I'm doing beach cleanups, I find the little wrappers to the Capri Sun straws. All right, and you think, oh, I got the Capri Sun, I got the straw, you know, but here's the wrapper flying away. Well, that looks like food. So we have a couple of pieces to look at today. This is some different degraded plastic, all right, that has basically been found on the beach by Susie Q. I want you guys to feel it, what it feels like. Feel how easily it breaks up, all right? Go ahead, pass it around. All right, you can see how easily it just breaks up and falls apart. All right, and this is the type of stuff that we're looking for. All right, you want to pass this around? This is the type of stuff we're looking for, because as it breaks up, it just kind of compounds the problem. All right? I'm sorry, go ahead. That's right. So what Susie Q is actually going to talk to you about today is how you can turn something rather gross, right? Plastic trash on the beach into something that's very attractive and beautiful. And so she actually did this beautiful piece over here. Finding all of this trash was found on the beach here in Fort Lauderdale, and she's turned it into this massive piece of art. So what we're going to do is we are actually going to talk to you guys a little bit about how you can do something like this. You're going to go out and find your trash, all right, little pieces. She's going to go over the types of trash that you should look for to create something like this. And then you're going to come back and you're going to have an opportunity to participate in one of her works of art. Right over here. Oh, where'd it go? It was somewhere. Oh, it's right here. All right, so right here we have a nice blank canvas. All right, and you guys are going to have the opportunity to participate in one of her pieces of art. So without further, actually, you know what, let me ask, are there any questions? Does anybody have any questions? Oh, yes.
So to further find out more about events like this, what's the best way to stay in touch with these kinds of activities?
Okay, well, I believe that, there's a flyer over here, and then also I believe there's a sign-up sheet over here as well, where you can put your information down.
And we'll get emails?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
There's a Facebook page too.
What's the Facebook?
Fort Lauderdale, but F-O-R-T Lauderdale Beach Suite.
And then they'll have some other stuff.
All right, are there any other questions?
Okay, Christa, you know, Lauren just said to me, I didn't say anything about what Kids Ecology Corps is.
Oh, okay.
Kids Ecology Corps was founded 17 years ago, and we exist to inspire young people and their families to take environmental action. We're an educational organization, and it's very important for the youngest generation to know as much as they can so that we can all make a difference in keeping the world safe, and that's why we're here today. I don't think think I have anything else more to say.
Well, if you guys have any questions or can think of anything maybe later, you're more than welcome to come back and go ahead and ask.